There's some people. Hello, how are you? Let me, if you're in the chat, say hello so I know who's here. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. My first live. Oh my gosh, can't believe I'm doing a live. Ridiculous. But I was thinking just now that if it's Zen, then it should always be live. Zen is always live. Zen is always right here, right now. Not some prepared speech that we've carefully found ways to articulate what we want to say, but what is alive and happening right now. And maybe this is kind of the aim of doing meditation, Zen meditation as well, is that we can be here for the live, for what's happening right now in our lives. And oftentimes, we're kind of maybe rehashing something that happened in the past or thinking about something in the future, or maybe going through some fantasy in our head, like watching YouTube videos, just how we wish things would be. And all the while, we're missing what's happening in our lives right here, right now. I love this little conversation that was recorded in a book of Thich Nhat Hanh, where someone asked him, what's the big deal? You guys just kind of sit around and do tea, and what's the big deal? I don't get it. And he replied, no, everyone, usually they're drinking their tea, but they're never tasting it. They're talking to their loved ones, but they never hear them. So what we're doing in this Zen thing is, really tuning in to be there with the tea, enjoy the tea. Not, so many of us, we're drinking our tea and we're thinking about, okay, what do I have to cook for dinner tonight? And then that goes to, then I have to get that at the store and this and that. So, coming back to being with that tea, having this connection, this intimacy, this presence, this awareness of the tea, of yourself, of what's going on right here, right now. I have a comment. Thank you. Emotionally addicted are decisions. We make poor decisions. Any questions? I'm not sure what this question is asking. What the bleep do we know? I guess, there's this big thing in Zen called no-knowing. We try not to unknow or unknow. Usually this intellectualizing, compartmentalizing, analyzing mind is wonderful. It's very necessary for our survival, but we're a little top heavy. We become a little too reliant on that. So to kind of let these thoughts pass away and be here for what's happening, like I was speaking about earlier. Hello for, oh man, this is going to be really hard to read YouTube names. I did not expect this would be the difficult part, but thank you. Someone said namaste. Thank you so much. George's cat loves you. And God practical. You can't find anything. Okay. I don't know what to do with this Shortener's cat loves you comment either. God can't find, you can't find anything. Maybe we could say you can't find anything. Yeah, there is this concept of shunyata in Zen, right? Or Buddhism in general, of nothing. And maybe even physics kind of points to this too, where everything is made of nothing. How can that be? And that's a nice theory. That's a nice concept or formula. But better than, having this idea of it or thinking about it, is, can you experience it? Can you taste it? Can you touch it? Can you feel it just as you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin as you are outside on a nice sunny day? It can be felt. It's not just for thinking about and theorizing. If it's here and it exists, why can't you have a direct experience with that God particle or shunyata or whatever you want to call it? Thank you for your comment. What else do we have? Some tips for management. Thank you for management. Yes. Well, what specifically are we talking about for management? Like managing your time? If it's that, then I would say systems. And this is not, we really utilize systems in the temple and the monastery to kind of keep us on track, keep the schedule going. And we have backup systems for our systems. And we have backup systems for our backup systems in case, we get derailed. So, and this is not just in temples, but like any highly successful business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, they are companies. They are utilizing systems to their full advantage. Not only is this great that, right, always what to do, when to do, but just having that allows you to use less mental calories. So highly recommend systems. Someone says, Mike says, where are you? Right now I'm in the United States in a Zen center. And everyone's probably eating dinner right now. I'm in the Zendo where we usually sit every day and do meditation. From tomorrow, we're going to have a 3-day meditation retreat, and it will wrap up Sunday. That's where I am. Where are you guys? Where is everybody coming from? Maybe drop it in the chat. I'd love to see where everyone is. Some time. Oh, hey, Wendy. Thanks for coming. Great to see you. I'm glad you could drop in. But please don't ignore your patients. But so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Stress management. Okay. Thank you, Life of Sarah Nicole. Tips for stress management. I think Thich Nhat Hanh would say this too, and these are just the Buddha's words that he's repeating. But just returning to our breath is great. When we're feeling anxiety, returning to your breath, in and out through your nose, saying to yourself, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. When you breathe out, breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Another tip that has maybe nothing to do with Buddhism, this I heard from a neuroscientist, a friend of mine, said just focus on one thing, maybe in the room with you. That has nothing to do with anything else, like if there's a lighter or a teacup or something. Just bring your focus. Maybe, you have this anxiety or something happening in your mind. Bring your focus totally on that. Just keep it in your mind's eye for a couple minutes. And that will kind of let whatever is buzzing around in your head or going around in your head, it takes the focus off of that, away from that, and onto that object. So you can try that. Oh my gosh. What else do we got here? Where is that? There isn't. Why do some people can't remember past lives? Interesting question from Ampu. Oh man, I can't say that. Names. No idea names were going to be the hardest part of this. So what's the deal with this concept that there isn't a I or a self, and how come people can remember past lives? And Shogun is there. Hi, Shogun. Good to see you. Past lives, I don't know. I can't tell you anything about past lives. I've not interested in exploring my past life or future lives or whatever. I'm here in this life, right here, right now, and there's plenty to do with this one. So I'm not concerned with my past lives, if they exist or not exist at all. If they exist, I have no proof that they exist. It's possible. Definitely, we're always kind of You could even say, even in this life, our past life is just a couple minutes ago or a couple days ago. We're always kind of changing, recycling. What is there that is unchanging? Is there an unchanging thing? And what is this not I? So that might be getting back to this shunyata idea, or this no self, atman, that inherently that there is nothing. And that's interesting and nice, but also a theory, So can you meet that not I? Can all of your ego identity, your idea of self, let that, can you allow that to just fade away? It doesn't have to be permanently. You need it, it'll come back, don't worry. But can you let that settle down for even a moment and tap into that not I, which is yourself? What else do we got? Someone said, oh, thank you. You have to tell me how to say your name, Aswari. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for all your nice questions. What made me choose this path? Yeah, so long story short, I was looking to meditate. I couldn't sleep at night. I thought, oh, if I just meditated, that might get me on the right road. And there was also something, I was going through some stuff in my life, and something was saying, hey, you need to go sit down. And I did, and it was great. I mean, terrible, but great too. And really just put everything into place for me. And it wasn't, just one stop shopping. I saw that, okay, this is something, a practice that I need to continue for the rest of my life, just like brushing my teeth or flossing or doing the laundry. This is one of these necessities that I need to do. And not only that, but there's so much to explore just sitting here on the cushion. And I'm definitely going to be doing this for the rest of my life. So I might as well ordain as well and go all in. If you've seen some of my other videos, I like going all in things. And that's what I did. And here I am, for better or for worse, talking to you guys on a YouTube live. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, Australia. Thanks, Wendy. Good to see. Oh man. What else we got? Other typical Buddhist concepts. I don't know. There's do some monks not accept reincarnation? There's different thoughts. Like the Tibetans, they're big into reincarnation, and I think it's just kind of though monk by monk, perhaps you could say. Everyone has their own opinions. I don't discount it, but I'm not that interested in it, is all. I'm sure there's something to it in some way or another. Thank you for your question. Do you have any tips for processing grief? Thank you, Mike, for a question. What do we do to process grief? I think to process anything is to, grief is rough. Oh, it's so rough. It's so heavy. It's like wearing those lead jackets that they put on you when you go to get an x-ray, or the weighted ankle weights, or what everyone is doing, this rucking thing right now where they put on weights to go for a walk. That's just so heavy, and you have no motivation. Everything is really overwhelming. And sometimes we just gotta be with the grief, we're always trying to look for ways to avoid it or ignore it. But sometimes if you have the wherewithal and the fortitude to let it wash over you, instead of trying to push it away, but just, if you can, be with it, breathe with it, accept it. And look, what is this? Someone made this beautiful comment on a video the other day that their spouse had passed away of cancer, and they were asking me, what is the grief trying to tell me there? and it's probably, the grief is there because, I mean, I don't have to probably tell anyone this, but that you feel so strongly for this or that of, the loss that you're feeling because of that beautiful, loving relationship you had. Um, all these extremely great memories and moments that you experienced with that person. I imagine, I'm assuming it's a grief of loss of a person or something. But so in there, though, reflect if you can maybe on those wonderful times and all the joy that it brought you and the good things, that it's contributed to who you are and how you can show up in the world. And if this is grief about a person, I love this thing that Maya Angelou says, where all her friends and family who have passed away, she keeps them with her. So whenever she has, and she calls on them regularly, whenever she has to go on stage or do some intimidating interview or something, she'll say, "All right, come on, everybody, come with me, let's go. I need you in my corner right now. I need you to support me." So and where do they go? If we're talking about people, are they ever really gone? I don't know. But go ahead, call on them, and you can have conversations with them too. Like when my mom passed away, I can't have difficult conversations with her that I wish I could have had when she was alive. But you can do that. They don't have to be there present for you to do that. You can have those conversations. You can update them about your life. You can say, "Hey, I didn't really like that thing that you did to me back then." And it might sound kind of silly, but I recommend it. If I went to visit Japan, study Zen, is there a meditation retreats that I can go for a day or a week? So question from Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie, of if wanting to go to Japan, and is there meditation retreats that they can go and study for days or weeks? So there are lots of these things called shukubo. You can find them almost anywhere. It's temples that allow you to stay there, and they'll do kind of gentle Zen practice for you. And maybe there's ones that aren't even Zen too. And they'll have really nice vegetarian food, shoujin ryori. They'll do some zazen. So it's kind of a touristy, but a little strict taught. It's probably like sparse accommodations. Nicer than a monastery, but not as nice as a hotel. But I mean, you get to stay in this beautiful, beautiful temple. The priest will come out and teach you how to do meditation and probably whisk you up some green matcha tea, and maybe you'll do some calligraphy and stuff. So those are quite nice experiences. If you want to do like a retreat, there are places in Kamakura that probably will take most people, but it's not all the time, so you have to time it right. But that is at there's two monasteries in Kamakura, but the one next to the North Kamakura station, Engakuji, they have all sorts of things for everyone, so you can check that out. Thank you for the question. Oh, I can't. How do I? Let's see. I don't want to miss any questions. I was taught about constructed self. What is enlightenment according to Zen, and how do you know if you are enlightened? Ha! What a sticky question. What is enlightenment according to Zen, and how do you know if you are enlightened? What immediately comes to mind is a quote from Dogen, which is he started Soko Zen in Japan. And he said, "Don't even be so sure that you're aware of your own enlightenment." What does that do for you, And do we define enlightenment? I don't know if we don't like to define anything. We're always kind of skirting around the bush. And this Zen thing too is, religion or a practice not based on words. We're outside of words and scriptures and doctrines. So it can't be, whatever I say in words, it's already putting a damper on it, Oh, Shinpei-san, arigatou. Thank you very much. for the sub. Yeah, you can, right? So we're always talking about it without talking about it. But yeah, I would say too, though, if you have some kind of enlightenment or some experience, I guess, well, here, I'll say one more thing. Hakuin Zenji says that Shujo Honnai Hotoke Nari, that human beings are primarily all Buddhas. So you're already actually enlightened, is kind of a way of thinking. And you're just not tuning in. It's maybe another channel of experience. And, this stuff in our head, being in our analytical mind, is we're quite distracted there and missing kind of this experience. So maybe looking back to when you are a kid and you're just totally immersed in your experience. You have no concept of tomorrow and yesterday. But as we go along, we kind of miss that, or it gets buried under all this planning and schedules and things we have to do. So can we get back to that childlike way of being? This is maybe closer to what might be described as a way of enlightenment. And already, but don't take anything I said about that to be canon. This is my take. And already, just trying to say it in words, I'm saying something bad, according to Zen, maybe. What was the hardest part of Japanese eating habits while you were in your training? Oh, man. Yeah, so thank you for your question and for your contribution. I really appreciate it. In the monastery, you don't have any choice about anything. Everything's already decided for you, and you have to do it or get out of there. It's their way or the highway. And many times too, people will offer you food, right? So you'll go over to somebody's house and do a ceremony, and they want to treat you to a meal or take you out to a restaurant or something. But you can't waste anything, and you can't say no to anything. And so maybe I'll tell you, this is an interesting story. It's not about me, but another guy. There was a lay man, and this might really drive a lot of people crazy. Maybe I shouldn't say, I'll say it. There was a layman who went to the same monastery I went to. And he went to train there. And one day, someone brought a donation of food, lunch, for all the monks in training. And he is there too, so he had to eat it. And this guy had been a vegetarian for 8 years before going to join them at the monastery. 8 years vegetarian, and really liked being vegetarian. Not only just like for health, but of all sorts of moral purposes and stuff. But that day, the person who brought food brought a delicious, wonderful meal of hamburgers from McDonald's. And not just one per monk. Like, he really wanted to treat the monks because they're working so hard. So he brought them. And he feels bad for the monks. Oh, these poor young kids. They've joined the monastery. They can't have nice things like hamburgers and stuff. So I know I can kind of break the rules. If I bring it, they have to eat it. So this American guy had to eat like 4 hamburgers. And he said, well, what is this? And they got angry at him. They're like, hey, you're American. You better eat these hamburgers. This is a gift. This is an offering from someone who wants to support us. We don't say no. It doesn't matter if it's meat or whatever. We don't waste it, and we don't say no. We take it and we say thank you. That's it. So there's tough times, difficult situations. But this is also nice. If you have any hangups about like what's right and wrong, for me anyway, from my opinion, I really appreciated this story because, we say, like Buddhists have to be vegetarian, or they can't do this, or they can't do that. When really, originally, this was not part of the Buddha's rules for monks, And he said you can eat meat as long as it wasn't killed for you. You didn't see it being killed. And and there was one other one I'm forgetting right now. But so it's okay, but essentially it works into trying to do no harm. So don't try not to harm anybody. Try not to harm anything. And I could go on and on about that, but let's look at more questions here. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your contribution. I really appreciate it. Who else? Oh, what a great question from Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie. Is there a focus on diet and Zen and how it affects the mental focus and supports meditation? Definitely, definitely. And this was a hard time. So everyone has to be the cook where I trained. And I really like these strong flavors. The house I grew up, my dad was a chef, and we really just go to town on flavors, spices. But there, I kept getting scolded and scolded. It's like, oh, it's too strong, the flavors in your food. And I'd say, okay, I'd put less and less. And when I taste this stuff, I'd be like, there's no flavor at all. But okay, and I put it out, and they're like, nice, do it like this. It's like, oh, are you kidding me? No, it's like you're eating paper. But the idea, and they have these rules too for food where you're not supposed to use garlic and various other ingredients. Anything that really is kind of too, not spicy, but it awakens the mind. So getting to your question about the mind, right? And that's totally the idea about it. We don't want to awaken the mind. So even these flavors, what we're doing is turning into our five senses. So things that really excite or jump out at you. So the right environment you're in is very bland, boring. The Zen gardens, rocks, not much going on. Your food, flavorless. But this allows kind of all the chatter to settle down, right? The noise, not just mental noise, but of your five senses noise. So you can really have this quietness. And in the quietness, get better in touch with your senses, getting better in touch with your inner world or outer world, or just really becoming intimate and connect and settle deeply, deeply, deeply into yourself. So that's the idea. It's trying to support this state of mind. Thank you for your question, Ronnie. Where can we find on a regular basis? Richard says, where can we find you on a regular basis? So I move around between America, the US and Japan. Right now I'm in the US, probably in the spring. I'll be back in Japan. I'm not sure for how long, and kind of bouncing around back and forth. So right now, though, I'm in Seattle, Washington, in the United States, at a Zen center there. So if you're in the area, come on down for a sit, for some tea. Thanks for your question. So how can you train and practice Zen for many hours? Yeah, and I have, the question is from Hassan. Thank you, Hassan. How can we train and practice for many hours? He says he has ADHD. I have some ADHD too, but I'm probably not on the extreme scale of that. But with anything, a little bit at a time. I think even in the Dhammapada, there's a line from the Buddha who says, how does a jug fill? By drop by drop. So just a little bit. In Japanese, they say kotsu kotsu. And do it a little bit, a little bit. You don't have to take these dramatic strides. And you can gamify it a little bit, and throughout your day, not just when you're sitting on the cushion, but if you drive, you're stuck in your car. So every time you hit a red light, okay, it's time to try to do one breath. Or if you're walking and you get a stoplight, or anything. When you're in the kitchen, when you're washing dishes, okay, can I take a breath here? And then over time, it builds up, it builds up, it builds up. And before you know it, you'll be doing it longer and longer. So every time you sit, try and do one more minute. The next day, try and do 1 more minute. Or every week, just add a minute and see how it goes. When I first started, I couldn't even do 10 minutes without like scratching my head and moving all around. I thought, oh, what's wrong with me? I was so surprised. It was like I thought I have control over my body, over my mind. It was not the case. So, but try that out. Let me know how it works. Thank you for your question. And please, if I don't answer your questions quite right, feel free to say, oh, but can you tell me about this? I didn't quite get it. Go ahead and put those in the comments. Oh, I'm getting behind. Oh my gosh. Speed up. Okay. Wendy has heard spirits as a nurse. Yeah. I don't discount it. There is stuff out there that is probably cannot be measured. I'm sure it exists. I can't prove it exists, and I'm not advocating, but thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Mike. Oh, thank you. But I really appreciate it. That's so generous of you. Thank you so much. Similar modern Zen practice to gender. So, okay, I'll have to work my way down and go up. How similar is modern Zen practice to ancient Zen tradition? Well, I wasn't there in ancient Zen days, so I can't tell you. I can tell you though, in the monastery, they are really against changing anything. I mean, we had a computer in there, but it was on like the very first Windows operating system. No internet. And because no internet, it still ran really smooth. But they are really against changing anything because they know once they change something, it's just a snowball effect. So they really try to keep everything as medieval as possible. We light the bath water, we light by fire. Cooking, we have a gas hookup, but when we're cooking a lot, or every morning at least, the porridge we make is made with fire. We boil our hot water with over fire. When we're doing big meals for lots of people, it's all just with the fire. And our tools, we don't have these fancy tools or fancy computers or anything, so they just try and keep it as medieval as possible. So maybe this is, but in the West, we don't have access to these places that have been around for longer than the United States has been around, So we kind of have to do what we can with the tools we got, and that's very Zen too. Is making the best meal with what ingredients you have. I got to speed up on these questions. I'm so sorry if I'm missing some questions here. Thank you for all these questions. I really enjoy them. Moment to moment awareness. How do you notice your thoughts from moment to moment? And do you use a mantra at the anchor system? Wonderful question from Magnolia. Mula Magnolia, maybe. I'm so sorry, everyone, for butchering your names. Please forgive me. So how is your moment-to-moment awareness? And do you notice thoughts from moment to moment? Yeah, and is there mantra? Mantras, mantra and awareness practice are quite different, but kind of doing the same thing. What are you doing? You're keeping your focus and your attention on that. And I wouldn't say like one is easier than the other. I think even for me, I'm doing a mantra is kind of, I get lost in my thoughts just as easily as just trying to follow my breath. But both are good. I recommend both. My own awareness, I think, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Thank you so much, Ronnie. I think being in the monastery, though, really did help to get this habit of just being. And I really try to discourage anyone from going to the monastery because it was so difficult and terrible and not what, really not what we imagined the monastery to be. And it's confusing because they're doing quite a lot of different things, but it does kind of work on you if you allow it to work. And, just showing up every day, doing these techniques, and just those thoughts kind of fall off because you're building this habit of, you don't have anything to think about. So you're really there. Thank you for that question. Ronnie, what steps are involved in Zazen? In what order are all these steps done? And what is the desired state? Thank you. Appreciate it. States are always moving. Nothing is permanent. So don't try to arrive anywhere. There's nowhere to arrive. Thank you, Aswar. Aswari, thank you very much. That's so generous of you. So don't have to arrive anywhere. Wherever you are, already perfect. But of course, we would like to not be really stuck in this busy thinking, analyzing mind. But not that that's not bad either. But so in Zazen, what are we doing? Thich Nhat Hanh really, he has a great video on YouTube. Someone filmed about this. I'm sure he's getting this again straight from the Buddha. He's so good at just saying these same things, but for a new audience in a very clear way. And I like to put my own spin on it, where what we're doing in Zazen, you get your posture, it helps your breathing, but we're first noticing. So when you have a thought, you're sitting there breathing, counting your breath, and then a thought comes in, okay, I have to make dinner tonight. Okay, I forgot to get that at the store. When I go shopping, I better get this. And then, I'm thinking. So notice. Then come back. And then you get distracted again. Notice, come back, notice, come back. This is kind of the first step. So just building this muscle of noticing. Okay, notice, notice, notice. Being on the lookout all the time. Bringing this heightened awareness. Then bringing back. And then, so when you bring yourself back, what's happening there? You're in your awareness and you're then building this focus. So this sustained amount of focus that can become longer and longer and longer, right? So just like the other guy was saying, we're trying to build this practice for longer durations. Just keep doing it. I like to say, if you want to get your water boiling, you need to keep the pot on the fire. If you take it off and then put it back on and take it off, put it back on, it's never going to get boiled. So leave the teapot or the kettle on the fire until it boils. And so just come back and come back, bring that awareness. And then in that awareness, you will start to have these realizations about, so, you're in this settled place, you can be there for longer. And that's where kind of the juicy stuff starts to happen. You're really tuning into more subtle layers of sensations or some sort of epiphanies about yourself or others or the universe or who knows. Whatever is there that you need to discover. Yes, that's kind of the 3-step prong that I like to suggest. And I hope that answered your question. If not, nag me and I'll get more into it. Thank you, Mike. Okay, what do you think about those who try to join monasteries as sort of escapism? Oh, lovely questions. The magician, what do you think of people who try to join monasteries as a way to escape from the stress of their current life rather than interesting understanding and adherence to a teaching? So I think maybe this is another reason why they make the monasteries so strict, is that no one in the right mind would go there and feel like it's a good escape. I thought too, I can go there and it's all set up to be peaceful and I can have a nice meditation. And it's so much busier than I had ever been working even the toughest jobs in my life. And I used to make video games in my past life. I was I made 3D environments for video games. And if you know anything about the video game industry, it's just crunch time all the time. Always crazy deadlines. I'd be sleeping on the floor some nights, or often going home and saying, oh, it's still light out, but realizing it's not still light out. The light is coming up. That's how late I had been there. Oh, shit. Oops, I'm not supposed to be there. But at the monastery, even more busy. Oh, even more busy. So I think it won't be an escape. So you don't have to worry about that. And then that will really, it forces you to confront, okay, what are you trying to escape? If you're going to stick around there, you will confront whatever you're running away from. So that's a good way to avoid those things as well. Oh, I can like things here? Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe not. Sorry, this is my first live. I don't know. I've never even watched anyone live before. I don't know how these things work. I appreciate all of your guys' patience and support. This is so fun. Thank you for your question, The Magician. Who else? Thoughts on Eckhart Tolle? I can't say his name. Tolle, is that how they say it? Do you think he's enlightened and a good teacher? I haven't. Thank you, Malcolm, for your question about Eckhart. I haven't listened to a lot of his stuff. I hear some of his stuff, so I can't give you like a firm good or not. But definitely, I'm sure, it's hard to fake it. If you've kind of had some experience beyond your small ego sense of self and opened up to something beyond that, then yeah. And it's not that hard to do, all of you, anybody can do it. Maybe some of you, most of you already have had some experience like that. It's not uncommon. And because you are human, you have the ability to have this kind of enlightening experience. It's your birthright. There are no Buddhas other than human beings. So yeah, it's not really that special. And in Zen too, they say, enlightenment is the start of your training. Then you can kind of explore more what that means. But definitely, I'm sure he has tapped into that at some level and is quite connected. And look, he's doing amazing stuff, inspiring people, hopefully not leading people too far astray. So it's really tricky. This is one thing, more than enlightenment, something that we really have to do is work on maturity in our practice and not doing harm, So when you have some enlightenment experience, you think like, oh, I can do anything. There's no rules to me ever. I'm a crazy wisdom guy. But no, you still live in this real world with real people, with real problems. You still gotta brush your teeth. You still gotta wipe the poop off your butt when you go to the toilet. So you're still this funky, weird human thing. But with that, shift in your perspective and experience. So try not to let that do too much harm to you and others. And I hope he's doing more good than harm. And I hope I am too. Oh, I gotta look out. Thank you for that nice question. Can you please recommend a small reading list? A small reading list I like. So I've been talking about Thich Nhat Hanh all night, but his books do put me to sleep. And I tried every time I listen to Eckhart Tolle too, he puts me to sleep. So who are these some good reading? There's a book, Taking Our Places by Norman Fisher. He's a Soko Zen teacher. I really like his stuff. Multiple people have on the YouTube channel commented on the 3 Pillars of Zen. That was an old book by Philip Capello Roshi, who was very inspirational in the early days of Zen in the US. I love, though, the Rinzai Roku is one of my favorite books, but very hard to understand and get your head around, but really fun. What else? Are there any good books? That's all that comes to mind right now. And maybe if you had, let me know like about what do you want that Zen book to talk about? Maybe that will bring something up for me. Thank you. Let's see. Mystic and Zen, did you ever hear of it? Would you also do it? What? What is with the mystic in the Zen? I'm not quite sure what this is saying. What is with the mystic in Zen? And did you ever heard of it, and would you also do it? I'm sorry, I don't understand that question. Could you reframe it for me, please? Learn to love. And what is the Zen approach to breaking vices like too much drinking? Is there a simple approach? Breaking vices, breaking habits. And if it's like drinking, then the 12-step program, of course, is just really good. And they already say, have some sort of spiritual thing. I think it's mostly Christian oriented, but it's flexible. So if it's like not a habit, but like a real addiction, then definitely go for that. It's very, very helpful. But if it's just like a bad habit, then out of sight, out of mind, definitely. So this works whether it's drinking or your smartphone. Oh my gosh, turn them all off now. Everybody log off. But if it's smartphone, out of sight, out of mind. So just make it difficult to access. If it's drinking, don't have any beer in the house. Don't buy it. Then you have to go out of your way to drink it. And if you're lazy like me, you won't go do it. If it's your smartphone, like lock it in a safe with a difficult password, and then put that safe in another safe, and then put that safe in the closet where it's hard to get to, in the attic. So just making it really difficult to access is a great way. And also a place where you can't see it, because every time you see it, then the mind starts going. It's like, I want that. Oh yeah, I remember, I like that. So out of sight, out of mind, and make it difficult. Thank you for that great question. You're doing wonderful. I just saw your voice on cleaning and spending peace next. Oh, thank you for that nice message. And to Jokella, thank you. It's very sweet of you. What else we got? Thank you for your wonderful and straightforward Zen teaching. A long time meditator, and I value your insight in your practice as a monk. Do you use koans? Yes, I do use koans with the teacher here in the Zen Center, and when I was in Japan too, I did some Zen koan work there. I love the koans. I love the Mumonkan, the Hekigan Roku, of course, Rinzai Roku, all these ones. I loved it when I first came to Zen, and I heard the Zen master giving commentary on one of these koans. It was just love at first sight, maybe. They're just so much fun. I love stories. Humans love stories. Everybody loves stories, right? And these are just so tantalizing and so much fun. Thank you. Thank you for that question. What else? Any thoughts on Raja Yoga, 8 steps, including physical postures, breath work, and preparing for focused meditation? I've never heard of Raja Yoga. It says 8 steps. Maybe is that talking about like the 8 limbs of yoga? I don't know Raja Yoga, so I can't really comment on it. But yoga's good, definitely. And having a physical practice, also very good. Something I miss that we used to have in this Zen center here was during retreats, someone would come in and volunteer to lead Qigong. And I don't know, I was kind of skeptical. I've done martial arts and stuff all my life. I was like, oh, what's this like energy focusing and stuff? But it was really nice. Taking it from just kind of being those, it should be this physical thing. So it's not just right out of here, get out of wherever this is and get into your body. Get into your body. So yoga is a great way to do that. And, this yoga that moves pretty fast, it's hard to stick with your breath and stick in the awareness when you're like, okay, move here, move there, move there. Maybe Hatha yoga is a little slower where you stay for 5 minutes and then you can kind of settle into one posture. But really good to have physical practice. And, it's like spokes of a wheel. They all kind of support the center. So a meditation practice, a movement practice, a mindfulness of how you're eating, mindfulness of how you're speaking, mindfulness of how you're acting, how you're working. These are all really good things. And this is like the Eightfold Path is kind of speaking to this too as well. Thank you for your question. What else? How do you feel about Taoism? I think there is Tao Te Ching. Oh, I love the Tao Te Ching. Yes, wonderful to meditate on, as you can read a few lines each day. Yes. When I was so lucky, when I was in my first year of high school, that my history teacher must have been going through something or had some sort of meditation practice, and he introduced this wonderful translation of the Tao Te Ching to us. And I was thumbing through it just the other day. I have this nice pocket version. I forget the author. I'm so sorry. But I think his translation is really the best of all those that I've seen. And there's some great stuff in there, and they're kind of Zen and Taoism. There's a lot of there was a lot of intermingling, so they cover a lot of the same ground. But of course, any mystic tradition is really kind of pointing at the same thing. So no matter what religion, if it's in the mystics, it's just a rose by another name smells just as sweet. It's talking about the same stuff, just in different vocabulary. So thank you for that question. What else we got? How do you choose when and where to travel? As you mentioned, you're currently in Seattle. Yeah, thank you for the question. Love wins. How do I choose to travel? Usually, I'm not so much student, but there are certain times in Japan, like the summertime is a big season for ceremonies. It's the Obon season. So maybe some temples could use my help for ceremonies or for setting up and cleaning up. This year I didn't go back for New Year's, but New Year's is also a really busy season for temples in Japan and shrines. And this time, this spring, actually, a friend who I trained, my superior who I trained with in the monastery, his father just passed away of cancer, and they're going to have a funeral for him in the spring. So that's why I'm going back this time. But I'm still kind of figuring it out. I've been in Japan the last 7 years, and I just came back to the United States just a year ago. So kind of finding my footing and exploring where I can be effective and where maybe trying to listen where I need to be and what I need to do. Thank you for your question. What else? When they lobotomize you with meds, so you wake up and can't remember your name. When you look around the room thinking your name, memories, why does it take so long as if you were in deep sleep? Yeah, I'm not quite sure about this message, but and I think if they lobotomize you, that's kind of the end. You're not coming back from that. But maybe you're talking about when they put you under some what's the word? Anesthesia? Oh man, I'm forgetting English. But when you go into an operation or something, right? There's a lot. So nobody knows what consciousness is. No scientist has been able to really pin it down and say this is what consciousness is. We can measure it. It's this big. It lives right here. Nobody knows, and it's a really weird thing when people are no. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, someone says I'm traveling to India and Nepal. Can you come commit me to some monastery? I'm there. No, I'm sorry. Learn to love. I don't know anyone in India or Nepal that I could recommend. Yeah, I don't know of any Zen connections out there. And beyond that, too, I have never been to India. I traveled to Nepal before a while ago, but before I started Buddhism. But I hope you have a lovely time. And I'm sure you'll find just the right spot for you. What do you think about Chinese old tales of Buddha being a student of Lao Tzu. Wasn't the Buddha born before Lao Tzu? I've never heard those stories. I'm not sure. I don't know. What do you think? You tell me. Let's see. Are there any earlier questions that I missed? Oh, Brian said, great channel. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Is there any special monk visa in Japan? This is Ronnie said, is there any special visa in Japan that allows you to stay prolonged periods? So there is a cultural visa, and it's kind of tough. You need really these people to vouch for you and say that, they'll pay for you if something goes wrong. If you don't have the expenses to pay for yourself, they'll take care of everything. And people have used it to study like tea, study in a monastery, Buddhism, kind of maybe martial arts and things like this too. But the thing is, you're not allowed to work, so you're not allowed to get any income. You're not allowed to join their like healthcare system, I don't think. So it's quite a limited visa, but it is nice because it does give you this prolonged time limit to be there. So you might check that out if that's something you're looking into. Thanks for the question. Ronnie. What was this one? How similar are modern Zen practices? Oh, I think I answered that. Thank you. Oh, I don't know how to say this name. I don't know, but they say I like the message of cleaning your room, and I think that makes a lot of sense, and you're being more tidy. Wonderful. I'm so glad that that's working for you. There's some strong opinions on the channel about cleaning. And it's not like you have to clean, but it's kind of like a hack. Like when we were talking about vices, out of sight, out of mind. Or the food, right? Just no flavor. If the room is quite simple, there's less stuff to excite your mind. And so it's not gonna make your mind instantly better. Just doing meditation is good for that. But it helps. It's supportive. So all these things are supportive. But then also cleaning, maybe tell us more about the good things that you're learning from your cleaning. But right, it's a great physical thing. It gets kind of this momentum going. If you do it right in the morning, it gives you this good energy to move into other parts of your day. The space feels nice. And you're caring for your environment, which is always caring for you, right? Our place where we live is always protecting us and keeping us safe and allowing us to take shelter from the elements and have a good night's sleep, be well rested to do the important things we have to do the next day. So to care for it is really nice. And caring for it is still just caring for ourselves as well. It comes right back to us. It pays dividends. So it's really nice. I'm glad you're enjoying that practice. How long would you recommend the average person to meditate each day to gain the benefits of stillness and the spiritual realm? Thank you, Malcolm. Do what you can. There's no law. Do what feels right. Do what's doable. Do what's possible. And you don't have to forego your normal life already to get to some state. Have some balance. And I'm sure at first too, for me, I couldn't do more than 10 minutes. Like I said, it was driving me crazy. And slowly, day after day, I was able to put in a little bit more. So if it depends on your schedule too, some people just don't have the time. And in that case, but everyone has 5 minutes, and everyone has these kind of times in between. And of course, we want to sit with the nice cushion and have the whole incense burning and stuff, and that's nice too. But if you don't have access to it, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Like I said earlier, if you're sitting in the car at the red light, you can tune in. If you're waiting in an elevator, you can tune in, or are on a bus ride. All these places, look for opportunities. And if, like I said, you want to get your water boiling by keeping it on the pot, just any time, gamify it, right? Any time you find in your day where you're looking at your cell phone, where you could be kind of trying to breathe, trying to connect to your breath, trying to meditate, uh, put that in there, and it will build over and over and over, more and more and more. Uh, and so just whatever works for you, and listen to yourself. You know what's right for yourself. You already know, and you don't have to push so hard that you know it's doing damage to yourself. So take care of yourself, and do what's right for you. And if you feel you can do a little bit more, go for it. If you feel like you need a break, take a break. I hope that helps. Let me know. What else? Tell us about your bio. How do you come to the idea of becoming a monk? Why did I become a monk? I answered this a little earlier, but I knew I was going to do this the rest of my life. I was a lay practitioner for 5 years, and I lived in this Zen center for 2 of those years. And there is a book. So maybe if that person who was asking about books, this is a good one. It brings back to memory of oh no, I can't remember the name of the book. It was a book of Soen Nakagawa Roshi, and in there, his disciple asked him, like, why did you become a monk? And he answered, I so badly wanted to become a monk. I so badly wanted to become a monk. And I don't know if that says anything to you or not, but that was exactly how I felt too. And I could justify it, with like some reasons of I've always wanted to protect culture, protect traditions. I grew up in the US, but my parents were my dad was from Scotland. So, and he came over when he was 12 years old, and he really got probably made fun of a lot for being Scottish. He had a weird accent. I think his parents made him wear the kilt, the skirt that Scottish people wear to some ceremony, and that didn't go over well, So to be American, he kind of had to throw all this stuff away. But it doesn't matter if it's an American thing, a Scottish thing, an African thing, an Asian thing. But what are our human traditions? What is our human culture that so much that we are losing? And what greater tradition that, goes this, I have some robes, there's this nice statue over here and all this fancy stuff. But better than that is like yourself. What are you? Know thyself, right? And the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, right? This is our tradition. What is our human tradition? Is this being connected to yourself and something beyond yourself, something greater, to, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I'm not gonna say it. So I really love that endeavor and wanted to promote that and explore it. I try to exhaust it until the day I die. I hope that answers your question. What else? Do you advocate for being a vegetarian? I'm kind of mixed, but tending in that direction. I love animals, especially my cats. Yeah, cats are lovely. Yeah, you do you. There's no you have to do this, you have to do that. Like I was saying to that other person, or maybe it was, I don't know. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. What do you feel is calling to you and telling you to do in your life, whether that's be a vegetarian or not be a vegetarian? I mentioned that guy who had to eat all those hamburgers at the monastery, right? So sometimes we say, I want to do stuff, and life has other plans for us. So just go with the flow and do what feels natural for you, I think is the best philosophy for anything. Definitely, in a spiritual practice, uh, eating meat. Uh, I have this psychic friend, who's been a very strict vegetarian for 8 years, I think he told me. And he said it really helps with his psychic abilities. So that's something. I don't have any psychic abilities. Sorry. uh, and I don't know. I'm not really that interested. I don't think I want them. Uh, but for, like quieting down the mind and getting in tune, quieting down the stuff in your body, to facilitate, to support a meditative state, aware state, it might be supportive for that. So try it out. I mean, this is the key thing too. Just try it out. Don't do it because I told you. Don't do it because someone else told you. Try it, see what happens, and then revise your plan from there. I think it's the best advice anyone can give. Thank you for your question. Oh man, here we go. Do humans need trauma to turn inwards? It's a rough question. Maybe. I've thought about this a lot. Right? If you're not gonna, if life is too good, you're not going to be inspired to really search, right? Even the Buddha said, practice is not good when life is too good or when life is too hard. Right? So if you're like in the middle of a war zone and you're just trying to find enough water that you can survive and keep your children safe, it's not the best place for practice. You have enough on your plate. And at the other extreme, if you are living in this beautiful mansion and people come and feed you grapes and you don't have to lift a finger, you're the prince of wherever or the princess of this, then probably not very good for practice. You have no worries. You don't have to worry. Oh, thank you very much, Shinbei. So, yeah. And then, like even my whole life, I had this kind of inkling, something's there I want to explore, but I was busy doing my stuff. So it's sometimes we need to break down before we can break open. So these really traumatic times in our life stop us in our tracks. And I don't wish it on anyone, but they are effective on jolting us, like shaking us, and saying, what do you believe in? What is your perspective on life? Maybe it's time to take another look. So they really encourage or even force us. We might not even have a choice. We might really be, because of this trauma, pushed into exploring it. Otherwise, it might continue to just nag at us, right? Until we finally listen to it. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. What else do you think about the concept of accidental enlightenment? Yes, accidental enlightenment totally exists. People will just have spontaneous enlightenments, and lucky them. Or maybe they had a lot of trauma and then it was just time. But whether it's spontaneous or whether you're working toward it, like through practice or something, what's cooking there, And I like to think of it of like a fruit ripening on the tree. And when the fruit finally becomes ripe enough, you can do everything you can to try and keep it on the tree, but it's gonna fall. You can hold it up, but it's gonna come off the moment you let go. Try as you may. So when the fruit is ripe and ready to drop, it's gonna drop, whether that's spontaneously or through practice. Thank you for that excellent question. Someone's reading Bill Paris reading The Diamond Cutter, and Geshe Michael Roach And any chance you are familiar with it? And if so, how do you feel about acquiring wealth while still living a compassionate life? Oh, is that guy who he's a white guy, but he was like the first Tibetan Lama or something, and he was in there forever. If it is, then yeah, I've seen kind of a little bit of his story, and that right, they told him, okay, go make money, right? Go make a lot of money. And definitely, we live in this money world. Money, isn't that a saying? Money runs the world, or money rules the world, or whatever. And probably Buddhism has always been involved with some money at some way or another. Like people who go to the Buddha, these great, I don't know if they're emperors, whatever you called them, of his time, go to them and want to really be moved by him and want to support them, build like the Nandala University and things like this. So you don't have to say no to money. And money why not put it to some good use, like you're saying, for care and compassion? There's plenty who need it. So definitely, I don't see any problems with that, and maybe we need more of it. Everybody get to work. Be more compassionate with your money for all those who could really use it. And that could be though to yourself too. You need to take care of yourself, and don't try to pour from an empty cup. So make sure you're well taken care of. You have your bills are paid. You have heat, and if you have a little extra, put that away in case of an emergency. And then if you have a little extra on top of that, maybe make some more precautions just in case. And then if you have a little extra on top of that, yeah, where can that go? How can that help people? And if you have kids or something, you're being very compassionate with your money. You're taking care of them. So choose your own adventure, but I don't see any problem with that. Thank you for your question. How do you stop judging people? Thank you, Malcolm. Malcolm just coming with all the curveballs. Thanks, Malcolm. How do you stop judging people begrudgingly? Oh, I still like to judge very much. Meditating and does help, because we are working on just letting it go. I think maybe just as a meditation, when you notice yourself, having a judgment, and if that's something you actively want to work on, like stop judging people. So just be aware, conscious of your judging. Like I said, like make it a game. How many times to keep a journal maybe of today? Oh, I judged again. Let's write it down. Keep track of it, or whatever kind of works best for you. When you notice you're doing judging, okay, there I go again. Oh, what is it about this judging? Why do I want to judge this person? Often I find the people who I have the most difficulty with, there's something in them that is being reflected from me. There's something in them that is really something about me that I don't like. It might not be the exact same thing, and there's definitely people that's not the case at all. But sometimes there's something. So what's underneath the judging too is a very interesting place for investigation. But yeah, just being aware of it, I think, is a great first step, and exploration and curiosity. Curiosity is always great to have. Who else? What is this? Does one in need of a spiritual master else following into wrong direction? Who is this? Shishini. Is one in need of a spiritual master else following into a wrong direction? I think I understand the question. So when you're practicing, is it good to have a spiritual teacher, a master? And absolutely. But I think when I was first starting out too, I had this great advice as, we have these cliches, right? when you're ready, the master will appear. But try it. Just try it by yourself. When you're first getting started, maybe go check out some groups and stuff. But start getting familiar with it, and then and this is always the best advice I can ever give anyone, is listen to yourself. You have this inner knowing. We all have this inner knowing, not up here, not thinking about it, not analyzing it, but this deep, visceral knowing. And so if you know that you need a master, or it's time to seek out a master, then go for it. Find the person who really resonates with you. And if you're really going deep into this Zen tradition and are really wanting to study like the koans and things like that, then you absolutely need a master. And it's really important, especially if you're having some big openings, or these maybe an enlightenment experience or something like this, to have someone to kind of check, because it's really confusing territory, right? So someone to kind of not say like give you a stamp of approval, you did it, but to talk about it, and someone to also push you to explore more. Keep investigating. Don't stop. Is there more? Is there more? What else? What else? Very, very valuable. So definitely, yes, good to have a master. Thank you for that question. What else? How do you start? Don't learn to love. What is this question? Do you do mind training like a memorial pass? I've heard of this, but no, I do not. No, Zen, not in any way in my experience. I think a lot of other meditation schools and Tibetan schools have a lot of rigmarole and imagining and steps of building like these things, even for people who just want to work on doing getting better at their memory. They'll even make use of these techniques too. But Zen is just tuning in to what's right here, right now. So we don't have to, and this is why I love it so much. It's so simple. Not easy, but it is simple, and it doesn't take. You can do it anywhere. You can do anything. You don't need any special things. Don't need any palaces built up in your mind. Not that those aren't great. Those, I'm sure, they work just fine and are very useful. But the Zen way that I have learned is not that. It's just following your breath, tuning into your experience. And going deeper in yourself, and yeah, things like that. Maybe I didn't answer that so eloquently, but yeah, not that way. And what, I guess, in the spirit realm, so we're not trying to really get anywhere or get to a spirit realm. Is there a spirit realm? I'm not interested. I don't want to go if there is. Who knows who I'm going to meet over there if there is a spirit realm. And I think it was Nagarjuna who was in his commentary says, like you might even in your meditation meet some, like, I don't know, some entities who maybe claim to be gods or divas or something. And he said, just ignore them. Just keep going. Don't get distracted there. Even in, just Zen meditation too, they have this thing called makyo, which is kind of, you might see some visual delusions. And the best case when you meet those is you're probably sleepy, so have some caffeine, have a nice cup of tea, and keep going. Don't pay attention. That's just kind of a distraction. So yeah, we're not trying to like get to any different worlds or different realms. Thank you. Hassan says, are all Zen monks so lovely, gentle like you, or is it personality by genetic? Thanks again. Thank you, Hassan. That's very sweet of you. I don't know if I am even that. I work to be such a way, or I work to be just me. I work to be natural. Um, I think this is though to our everyone's natural way. We are all very probably, if you go back to a child, um, you're very naturally caring and loving and open, and not just for humans but animals, the grass, nature, everything. You're very delicate with your surroundings, and also causing maybe a lot of damage too because you're a kid and you don't have good motor skills. But I think this is the natural, our human's natural way of being. And so hopefully Zen practice brings you back to that natural way of being yourself. Thank you. But it can be hard work due to whatever circumstances and things we've run into along our lives. So we gotta part of the training is filing down those sharp edges that we've accumulated, or those crustaceans that have attached themselves to us over the many, many years of our lives, through whatever experiences that they may have occurred through. But yeah, hopefully through some not too much trial and tribulation, we can get back to that loving, caring, original self. There's a crack in everything. That's how like it's. Oh, lovely quote from Leonard Cohen. Thank you for sharing, Kutanan. There is a crack in everything, and that is how the light gets through. Now, why do you like that quote? Could you share that with us, please? Thank you. Someone asked, thank you. Will the live be available to view after? I don't know. I don't know how this works. But I do have a friend who helps me with all my editing troubles. So I'll consult him, and possibly it will be available for view. We'll see. Hopefully so. I'll do my best. I'm sorry. I'm so technically inept. What's the word? Someone help me. Can I be a devout Christian and still be a practitioner of Buddhism? Yes, Bill, absolutely. In fact, being a practitioner of Buddhism will make you a better Christian, or it will strengthen your faith or resolve your faith. It's an auxiliary religion, and not even really a religion. It's just a practice, and if you look at these deep mystic Christians, they're doing a lot of the same things. One of my favorite people is Saint Francis of Assisi. He did a lot of this. He would go into solitary retreat. He would do this kind of working, right? And the other friars who eventually joined him, they had to kind of, I think actually this is one of his tenets, like, you got to do some work. So they would be working around the village and stuff. They were a little too strict with their bodies. Later on, he said, I was a little harsh on brother body. I should have been a little more compassionate and nicer to my body, and not done so much fasting and hard religious practice. But yeah, just being mindful, being aware. What is it that you're going to do? What is it when you're listening? I've been talking today about listening to, there's this deeper knowing in yourself. I think the Quakers call it the still small voice. So when we're listening to the still small voice, is that you? Is that God? Is that, I don't know, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but definitely this practice will and there's at least in my point of view, it's not in confrontation at all. It's very supportive of whatever your faith is. Thank you. I hope that helps. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Yes, the calligraphy behind you is beautiful. Can you tell us about it? Thank you. Thank you, Pool or Pond. This is a calligraphy taken from what we were talking about earlier, the Tao Te Ching, which says, what does it say? Good deeds leave no trace. Good deeds leave no trace. And this is nice. I like this philosophy in Zen, where we try to leave no trace. And we don't even think about good deeds or bad deeds. We try and get out of this thinking of this and that, self and other, good and bad, right and wrong. But also watching our wake, are you causing a lot of damage for yourself and for others around you in your life? Are your actions, if you want to call it karma or not, really spreading out into the world and doing a lot of harm? Or can you really move through life and, like you were a duck swimming in the water, on the surface of the water, is your wake just ever so subtle, or no wake at all? And probably you can't do no wake. You're gonna make a little mess. But when a bird takes off from its nest, it does it so delicately and gently that nothing is disturbed. So can't we be like that in our lives and stop making a mess? So that's what that calligraphy is. Someone says they're usually visible. Oh, yes. Thank you. I'll check it out. Hopefully it works. Oh, thank you, Polar Pond. I'm glad you liked that very much. Well, we have been going for an hour and a half. Holy cow, who knew I could talk this long? And you guys are still listening? Oh my gosh, you crazy people. I guess it is a phrase that shows everything is flawed. It can be opposite and repaired, just like the art of kintsugi. Yeah, thank you. That's quite lovely. Yeah, I read that a lot. I guess it is hopeful that phrase that shows that everything flawed can be the opposite and or replaced. Or repaired, like art of kintsugi. Kintsugi, of course, being this, if you don't know, repairing a broken cup or some plate with lacquer and then decorated with gold on top. So whatever was broken can become whole again. And even maybe this scar enhances its beauty. And definitely these cracks in our lives, kind of like what the earlier question brought up, is do we need this trauma to start our spiritual search? And maybe in my recent video, I think I uploaded too, is like these tough times, these difficulties in our lives, these catastrophes sometimes are really the door. It's not the end of our lives, but kind of the beginning of the invitation into something more meaningful, something deeper, something supportive, and a new way of looking at our lives. As terrible as it is, I had such a tough time, and I really am so grateful for it, but also wish that nobody ever has to have some terrible things like this, but yeah, just because you have this terrible, difficult trauma or whatever it is, there's hope, and you might become even more beautiful for it. But I wish you never have it. Or maybe, I don't know, not to be missed, I don't know. But yeah, it's a tricky thing, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you for that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Hassan. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I really appreciate it. And I've been really enjoying your questions all night. Thank you so much. What else? How can you tell the difference between being conscious in the moment and being self-conscious? Conscious in the moment. What an interesting question by user something, something, something. Thank you for that question. The difference between being conscious in the moment and self-conscious. I don't know. Are you trying to? Is this like a trick question? I don't know. I don't think about self-conscious so much. Like, what is? Could you maybe even define self-conscious for me? That might help a little bit. But do you mean by self-conscious like always kind of second guessing yourself? Like, oh, should I do this, or is this kind of quite not right? Or do you mean more of just like being kind of lost in your thoughts, consciousness? So if there is this, being conscious. And if we're talking, and what do you even mean too by this being conscious? So I think we need a little more defining if I'm going to answer it better. But if we're looking at from a maybe meditative point of view, what we're trying to facilitate through meditation is this awakeness, this alive awareness, acute awareness of what is happening. So this is kind of really tuned in, right? You're really quite connected. You're on point, but it's not, like it's not forced. You're in a very natural place, very settled place, very open to kind of receive what's happening inside and out of you. And also allowing things, not clinging to ideas of how I want it to be or how I think it should be. Just accepting kind of what's happening and enjoying the ride. When I got my driver's license for my motorcycle, I had these really funny teachers, and they had all these great catchphrases, and one of them they were always saying was, enjoy the ride. And I don't know, I took it quite philosophically. But yeah, can you just really be tuned in, aware, and enjoying the ride? Whether it's a good ride or a bad ride, right? So putting away those preferences too. And that might be kind of the difference. So if we're having this more self-centered consciousness, right, we're always thinking and second guessing and analyzing and discriminating. So this is the big difference. And then we're probably too kind of missing what's happening because we're just so busy thinking about the thing that we're missing the thing right in front of us. Let me know if that answers your question. I wasn't quite sure if I'm speaking to that or not, but thank you for the question. Your smile and face very peaceful. Oh, that's very kind of you. Very embarrassed, but glad something shines through. Glad you guys don't need like special goggles just to watch me. I did shave just for you guys. It kind of feels to me like monk life is pampered. Yes, in a sense that it is removed from any real life chaos, spouse, children, corporate work. It should be easy to be calm and clean without them. But the whiz goes on, but it's kind of contradicts do things the hard way from your videos, is it not? Yeah, so a lot of people have this idea, I think myself included, that a monastery should be this really peaceful place, love and peace, joy. Everyone's really nice, and you just have all the time in the world to sit and meditate and relax and find your inner peace, find inner wisdom. And right, if you've been seeing my videos, you'd be quite surprised. I'm saying people are yelling at you and it's terrible. And yet, in that crazy strictness of like marine-like training. So many people have commented who have been in the army, whether in the US or abroad in other countries too. It's like, oh, I know that. That sounds like my Marines training. Uh, right? Well, what's that about? And yet, though, even though it's this hardcore Marines training, do everything more difficult, push yourself to the limits, it is still, I mean, pampered, right? I mean, it's very Spartan, but I mean, what more can you ask? You have a roof over your head. That's about it, because the walls are made of paper. But you have a roof over your head. You have clothes. There's usually food to eat. I was had a story earlier. I was telling someone that there was one day, we don't go shopping. We just rely on people to bring food. So there was one day where we just didn't have any food. All we had were udon noodles and some leftover salad dressing. So we just ate noodles with dressing on them. But we had something to eat. That's great. So it is, in that sense, pampered. And we have the luxury in this chaotic, difficult training to not have to think about too much, right? Someone, the head monk, is deciding the schedule, and even the schedule is decided. He just kind of decides, okay, well, today we'll do clean here instead of there, or we'll do this because it's raining. And so that is quite a luxury in and of itself that most people can't afford. They have so many decisions that they have to make in a day about very important things, especially if you do have these kids and family and friends and your job and whatever else is going on top of that, right? That's just the baseline. And then, okay, your car broke down and you have the hospital bills and this and that. So it is so luxurious in that way. But I think too, because they don't want to be so luxurious, so, they recognize everyone out there in their normal lives has it tough. It's tough to be a human, live this human life, keeping up with the Joneses and just, scraping by a living and providing for yourself and your family and making sure that they're safe and sound. So if you're going to be here, you better work your butt off. Otherwise, get back out there and do it like the rest of them. But don't come here and think you're just going to have a nice, peaceful, lovely time. We got to work too. Get to it. Get to knowing the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. Get to, doing the spiritual training that people are expecting of you. Right? If you're going to come to that sort of place, to a monastery. If you're a lay person, then yeah, do it at your own pace. That's okay. But I think that's they recognize that there is this luxury, so we better not. Everyone else is working so hard. We better work our butts off too, is the idea about it. I don't know if that answers your question or not. Let me know, Wiz. But thank you. I really appreciate it. Learn to Love says, my enlightenment came after a magic mushroom trip. And what do you think about psychedelic breathing or using forms of psychedelic? Thank you. Great question. Yeah. So, right, magic mushrooms are quite popular and have been more and more used to treat like trauma and depression and things like this. And, whatever works, I guess, works, right? If it works, it works. But they're not necessary. You don't need a magic mushroom or any other kind of substances to help you experience this thing. You already have everything you need to have this experience. As long as you draw breath, you have access to it. And the nice thing about not doing it with help of a substance is that, sometimes we might doubt ourselves if we, experience it through a substance. So, oh, it's only because of that substance. So it's not really real. It only exists with that. And maybe it was just a dream. So if you do it all by yourself, even then, though, you still might not completely believe in it anyway, but you're more likely to have some faith in that experience. And also, too, it's nice not to be reliant on them, right? To start thinking, oh, I can only access it because of that. No, anyone can access it. I mean, probably 99% of people, maybe if you have just are too knotted up with too much trauma or karma or something, that it won't be able to. But most people can access that without any substances. But, if that's, I don't know, everyone has their own path and their own stuff going on. And again, listen to yourself. You know what's right for you. So if that way is very helpful and encouraging to you and helping you on your path, and you see the results, right? You're like what we talked about earlier, where you're getting back in touch of being a kind and open-hearted and loving and caring and gentle being, and that's helping you do that. I don't care. And it's your life. I'm not taking responsibility. But right, if you're getting there and you believe it, and it's making good waves in your life, then yeah, it's fine. What do you think? You tell me. What else we got? Yes, I think you got it. I meant being overly self-conscious. Okay, good. I'm glad I was able to answer your question. What is this? Should we just trust the ride? When should we do consciously? That's an interesting question. When should we do consciously, and when should we trust the ride? There is, if you're looking from the Taoist perspective, they say a lot of this doing with not doing, right? What does that mean? Thanks. Yeah, that's good advice. But this, right? We're always, like I said earlier, we're so, I think, in my opinion, very top heavy with this thinking, analyzing, critical mind. And so we're always trying to decide and figure out and map every part of the step, part of the trail out, and get it all planned and squared away. But sometimes getting the details all planned out is nice. But can we listen to a deeper kind of knowing that's not reliant on the facts and agenda and the numbers? Is there something in you that is calling out to you, saying, hey, I've been trying to call you. Please pick up my call. This is something I think you should look into. Do you hear that? Have you ever heard that in your life? I'm sure everyone has at one point or another, to some extent. So I do this thing, spiritual direction or spiritual companioning. And this is what I try to work with all the people I work with, is learning to listen to that, learning to then trust it, and then learning to act on it. So maybe first, tuning in is a little tricky, but then, okay, we get the message. But then believing in the message is really tough because it doesn't make sense. We can't see how all the pieces come together. And then lastly, okay, we trust it, but are we actually going to follow through with it? Are we going to do the thing that it's telling us to do? So having a little bit of faith and trust in that voice, trust in yourself, that this is a path where to go on that ride. I hope that answers your question. From Goblin BT. BT's 8. My life has been horrific and traumatic since the beginning. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Goblin. And no matter how hard I try, it seems I'm riddled with hardship and bad luck. Even people I know joke I'm cursed. Is my life a punishment? I don't think your life is a punishment. No. What? And I'm so sorry that you've been having this tough time and that people joke about your tough time. That's got to be quite rough as well. And we could maybe, do not like talking about karma and I don't like thinking about past lives and things like this. If we are talking about karma, I only like to talk about this life, and karma is, cause and effect. What kind of things are we putting out and are being coming back to us? Or, what has been this, our environment, and had this effect on us? You've probably heard the phrase, you're a product of your environment. So, and a lot of us, until a certain point, are really not, at least in my case, I can only speak for myself. I don't really know what everyone else's experience is, but I was just like not aware of what was going on around me. I was just so in my own head, in my own thoughts and imaginings that, looking back at it from now, it's just like I had two eye patches on. It was a miracle I could even get around and my life and not make a total, or I probably was making a total mess. So, and it's not quite our fault, right? But it is maybe, and due to whatever circumstances. And so, I don't know. There luck, or good luck, bad luck. I think in Japan they even say like you can make your own luck. You can make good luck. And then how does one make good luck? And that would be through, bringing this awareness, maybe bringing positive self-talk. Even in Buddhist practice, we do all these kind of chanting, and some of the chants have meaning, some of them don't. But even in these chants, like the four great vows, however noble human beings are, I vow to care for them all. And we say this however many times a day. And what effect is that going to have? You're just, saying it, but this is becoming your environment. You're saying this to what? You're saying it out loud, but you're saying it, to your body. After you say it so many times, your mind starts to remember. I was just thinking about this today. It's like, oh, have we just been doing like affirmations this whole time? And I've hated affirmations so much. I thought they were so stupid and woo-woo. But now I'm even starting to come along. Right? So maybe can you take hold of this and create your own luck, create good luck, take control, take the reins, say positive, good things to yourself. Say in the mirror to yourself, I am lucky, I am lucky, I am lucky. I have a great life, I have a great life, a great life. I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. It sounds so stupid. It almost makes me want to gag, but try it. See what happens. Maybe your luck can change, and you're definitely not cursed unless you're cursing yourself. I believe in you. And let me know how it goes, or if you try it or not. Thank you, Emma. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you guys do this. What's this? I'm just happy you're all here and joining me and listening to me blab. And getting some, if you're getting some value from that, that's also wonderful. But thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. What else do we have? Stop taking. Oh, Emma, it's you. I wish you had video too, so you could show me your great dancing. Hello to your dogs and your husband and your whole family. I'm so glad that you could make it. Very happy to see you. Thank you. All right, what else? Stop taking it and got guidance to my own spiritual path and quit my job and journey in spiritual mastery. Oh, learn to love. Sounds good. How's that going? Tell me more. That's really interesting. Thank you for your answer and perspective. And yes, I'm ever thinking, which is why I find Zen philosophy good for me. Yes, Zen philosophy is very good for overthinking. And especially difficult for, the really thinking inclined, because we want, and there's so much safety in knowing and having it all figured out. So Zen is really good at giving us these kind of problems and tricky things that no matter how hard we think about it, we're never gonna get to it. And just sitting silently in some meditation, allowing the thoughts to settle, allowing our busy mind to just quiet, even just a little. So refreshing, so rejuvenating. So I hope this practice brings you much comfort and joy. I'm so glad you're here. Start with changing the people you know. They are not good for you. Learn more about the life of Buddha. Sure. Yeah, so I was going to do a topic on this too, of toxic complainers or toxic environments, right? Your environment does have a huge effect. Why do people go to these monasteries, right? And retreat from the world? Because it's kind of crazy out there. So, to have an environment that's catered and quiet and supportive, get a supportive environment. Even so, this is why the cleaning I go on about is so good too. Clean your place. That's going to be, unless you like the mess, as many people have pointed out in their videos that they love their mess, and that's fine too. Whatever is, though, supportive to you, a good environment for you. And that's not just your physical environment, but the people who are around you. If they're telling you you're no good, that you're a loser, that you can't do anything, those are not the people you want around. And it can be really tough too if these people are your family or longtime friends and stuff. But you gotta put yourself first. If you are not healthy and taken care of, how can you care for the people you care about? How can you show up for them? If you're coming from a place of lack, of an empty cup, you can't pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself by taking care of your environment. And that's, what you intake, whether it's, what you're watching on YouTube. Hopefully I'm a good for your environment. But everything, what you're eating, who you're around, your environment, if you can, to the best of your ability. Thank you for that nice comment. How long does a new monk study Buddhist theory in a monastery? And it is a study with books or through a teacher verbally. Thank you, Hassan. Yeah, so in Zen monasteries, you're not even allowed to have books. So Zen is this practice beyond, not reliant on words or letters. So it's not about study. The study we're doing is getting the experience of it, very viscerally, physically. So it's not a concept. It's not a theory to think about or understand or intellectualize. Throw that out. That's just kind of going to get in your way. We're trying to quiet that mind down. So all the study that we do in the monastery is through these. Our study is doing these simple tasks of cleaning the monastery, caring for the temple grounds, sitting in meditation, begging for alms, taking a bath, cooking. these very simple things are the practice. And through those things, you can investigate yourself, investigate, these big human questions of who am I, who's asking, what is this, what are we all here for, whatever it is. And the Zen master too you have one-on-one time with him, and he will usually give you some encouragement or advice, but not, it's not really telling you anything, because you can get it yourself. We can all get it ourselves. It's nothing that anyone can give you. In fact, no matter what someone tells you, it's never going to be it. And I like this example. It's like touching fire. We can tell our kids, don't touch the fire. It's hot. You're going to burn yourself. You're going to regret it. Don't do it. But, until we touch the fire and we get burned, then we understand, oh, that's what hot is. Oh, this is what being burnt is. Oh yeah, this does suck. Now I see what he is telling me, right? So it's to get our own experience, our own understanding, not from what somebody else tells us. Through the practice. I hope that answers your question. Atlantean Winter says, thank you for that advice. My past child thanks you, and I'm going to try what you said. I'll update you. Thank you for taking that time and saying that. Oh, I'm so happy if that's of any help at all. I wish you the best luck, and I so look forward to seeing what you discover. Please do share. Good luck. And Learn to Love says, it's my second day. I wanted to travel first India, and after getting to Kathmandu in Nepal, I wanted to increase my first my English and get a better understanding of my nature of mind. Oh my gosh, are you in Nepal right now? Are you tuning in from Nepal? Wow, thank you for being here. How exciting. I hope you have a lovely trip. And are you learning English? Is that what you're saying? Your English already sounds pretty good to me. But I wish you good luck, good trip, and I hope it's very fruitful, spiritual and otherwise. Thank you for being here. Even though you're on this nice trip and you're here with us on this YouTube, get off, go have fun. What are you doing? Thank you for being here. All right, guys, we have come to almost 2 hours. Has anyone been here the whole 2 hours? Let me see. Say something in the chat if you have. That would be impressive. Look at me. I've been sitting here and crossing my legs in Zen meditation this whole 2 hours. Who knew I could sit for 2 hours? Wow. Thank you, guys. You're helping my practice. Oh, what a dummy. Cool. Then, if there's maybe no more questions, maybe we'll wrap it up. I don't know. I've been having so much fun, though. This has been such a joy. I never thought I would be on YouTube, and I never thought I'd be doing a live on YouTube. And I never thought anyone would show up to a live on YouTube. And here we all are. So I'm so overjoyed and grateful for all of your presence, and for everyone too has donated. It's so sweet of you. I really appreciate it. And all of the fantastic questions. I just love sharing this practice, sharing the space and connection with people who are kind of on a similar path. So it's such a joy for me. I'm so glad you're here and so grateful for your support. Thank you guys so much. Oh, yeah. Thank you. You're really gonna have to tell me how to pronounce your name later, so I don't keep messing it up. I'm so sorry, but I'm so glad you're here. Great connecting with you earlier, and what a pleasure that you've been here from the start. Thank you. You're doing this marathon with me. I appreciate it. It gives me power, gives me strength, motivation. And yeah, especially all you guys too who have been in the comments with great supportive comments and questions. I really appreciate it. It helps me a lot. As you may know, in YouTube, there's a lot of interesting comments out there. So it really helps me keep fighting in the comment section when I get your guys' support. I appreciate it. And maybe I'll do a selfless plug here. If you are if you feel like this channel, this interaction too, is being really beneficial for you, or you're enjoying it, I'm trying to reach as many people as possible and help as many people as possible who are maybe, meeting that crack in their world or need their broken cup to be fixed, like the kintsugi we were talking about earlier. And a way that if you guys could help support that is if you have the YouTube app. There's a new feature in the app apparently that's called a hype button. And if you press the hype button, I think you can only do like 2 or 3 a month. But if you press the hype button on any of my videos, YouTube will see that and push it out to more people apparently. So I've been told. So if you have the app, I'd really appreciate it if some of the videos that really resonate with you, if you'd press that hype button for me. That'd be a big help. Thank you guys so much. What? G. Tim says, thank you. Thank you, G. Tims. All right, then let's call it a night. It's late. From tomorrow, we have a 3-day retreat here. I gotta cook everybody breakfast, so I better get to bed soon. Or I think I need to go shopping. Oh my gosh, we don't have enough vegetables. But it's been so much fun. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Let's do this again. I'm such a joy to have all of you guys here. I can't believe this. It's really special. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys in videos, and let's do another live maybe sometime soon. Good night, you guys. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks for being here. Good night.